time machine wait?
That's not a question!
Questions! I need answers!
Hello, buddy. Crow back again, here to answer some questions. I know it's been a long time. I actually have questions here that I haven't answered from November. Now, I was kind of experimenting with the last batch I did. I was kind of doing one question or one topic at a time per video. But I think perhaps the best way to do this is to just take all the questions from a certain time period and try and answer them in one video. And that's what I'm going to do here. All the questions that I've gotten from November 23rd up until today, which is, what is today? Looking at a calendar, it's March 12th. All the way up till March 12th. I won't be posting this right away, but I'm actually posting this before I post my first Crow Plays video of the year. But yeah, this will be about 3 months, almost 3 months, I guess, or maybe more if you can. Yeah, it's like almost 4 months if you think about it. But anyway, let's get started here. First question here is from Hey Man, Don't Eat Those, and he asked this on November 23rd. Are there any game franchises you'd like to see come back? Now, I was thinking about this, and I almost don't want that to happen. Because what winds up happening is those classic game franchises that we remember fondly in the past, when they try to bring them back and update them, they seem to fail or not be as good as the originals. Now, I wish I could think of specific examples, but I'm kind of doing this off the cuff, and I can't think of anything specifically right now where that has happened. But I could just see that happening. But with that being said, I think there's one series that a lot of people would like to see come back, and that is Road Rash. We haven't seen a Road Rash game in a hell of a long time, and I think it's time for that series to return. And I don't think they could screw it up that badly. There is a game I kind of saw, I don't know if it's out or not, called, I don't remember what it was called. It was like some kind of demo. It was like a Road Rash type game, but all I did was see sort of like a demo video. I don't remember what it was called. It was called like Road Redemption or something. I saw that. That looked pretty interesting. But again, if the series were to come back, it'd have to be on Electronic Arts, and they're not really the consumer's friends these days, you know? I always think twice before I buy an EA game. And like the Need for Speed Rivals. I didn't want to buy that for the longest time solely because it was Electronic Arts. And only reason I did buy it is because I got the complete edition, and it was on a Black Friday sale, so it was cheaper than normal. But even then I feel kind of ripped off because the complete edition isn't really complete. I mean, all it comes with is a code that lets you download everything. So the complete edition is not really complete on the disc, if you know what I mean. So, so if somebody were to resell that in the future, but they used the code, the title of the packaging is misleading because they're not going to get the complete product. Anyway, so there's my answer for that. I'm going to say Road Rash. There may be others. I mean, like Battletoads. A lot of people want to see Battletoads come back. They've been wanting to see that for the longest time, but I don't think they could do that game justice. I just thought of one. Splatterhouse. Splatterhouse came back out of nowhere like a reboot, and even though I kind of did like the game, it didn't get positive reviews. It wasn't the game people were looking for. So yeah. Let's move on. Again, on November 23rd, 2014, this question is from Sam with 2 M's. Sam. I notice you're drinking a lot in your videos. What are you drinking? What are your favorite beverages? Actually, a long time ago, like in high school all the way up through about maybe 5 years ago, all I would drink would be Diet Coke. But I actually don't drink any soda anymore. I got off of Diet Coke because I was kind of starting to get like a headache, constantly. It was kind of weird. It felt like my head was, I can't even explain it. It wasn't really like a normal headache. And after a while, I just finally stopped drinking Diet Coke. And then eventually I was like, okay, no more dark colas. And then eventually it was, okay, I'm not drinking soda anymore. And if I were to drink soda right now, it just the sensation is just too weird because I haven't drank it for so long. But what did I switch to? Eventually I switched to Arnold Palmer's. But even then, even now, I don't drink those anymore. And I know a lot of people were like, knew me as somebody, that drank a lot of Arnold Palmer's because I was always drinking those. But to me, right now, those things are way too sweet for me. I don't drink anything super sweet. I don't even like, sweet drinks or whatever. But what I drink now is, when I'm at work, I primarily just drink water. That's all I drink at work. But in my videos, you usually see me drink something in this bottle. And it's not, you can't really tell because this is like a purple bottle. But I am drinking iced tea. Now, what I used to do is I used to buy a box of this. I still do this. So I have a box of this, and this is just black tea. This whole box had 24 bags in here, and I used 3 or 4 bags to brew a pitcher, and then I would add cranberry juice to this. But I don't even do that anymore. These are the ones I have left over because I found these. These are what I actually like. I like these Tiesta tea things here. And it wasn't too long ago I discovered these at Jewel. They're about $4 a bag, but you basically just open it up. I use a coffee filter in my ice brewer, and I just kind of use about 4 tablespoons of this stuff and brew a pot that way. Now, these aren't the only flavors of this I've tried. I've tried plenty others. This one, for example, this red one is Passion Berry Jolt. It has black tea, raspberry, and passion fruit. It's a flute. Raspberry and passion fruit flavorings, marigolds, and cornflowers. This one's actually pretty good. I actually like all of these. This has been my favorite one so far. It's called Fireberry, Hibiscus, Rubus, I don't know how to pronounce that, currants, rose hips, elderberries, and cranberries. This is very good. I like this, one of my favorites. And then this one is Fruity Pebbles. And actually, that's what I'm drinking right now. Green tea, white tea, papaya bits, pineapple bits, rose petals, and strawberry bits. I know that these say this is a slenderizer, and this is immunity, and this is energizer, but I think that's all just marketing. I don't really feel any more energetic drinking that than I do anything else. But yeah, that's what I'm primarily drinking these days. And basically, I would brew up this if I run out of this stuff and I just don't happen to have any more. But yeah, this stuff is great, and that's what I've been drinking, and that's my favorite beverages. My favorite beverage, as you were. So basically, just iced tea. That's all I drink. Different variations of iced tea. I don't drink hot tea. I don't like anything hot. I don't drink anything hot at all. Not even room temperature. Everything I drink has got ice in it. So that's just me. Let's move on to the next question. Again, from November 23rd, 2014. This is from Josh S. What is your most prized / favorite piece of your collection? What is your most sought after game? Well, I would have to say my most prized and favorite piece of my collection is the Star Trek, the Stern Star Trek pinball machine from 2013. I'm enjoying that thing immensely. I don't think I could have made a better choice, and timing was great to buy for me, for a brand new pinball machine. I love that thing. I'm always tinkering around with it. In fact, about last week I put a bunch of new bat rubbers on it. I used super bands. I put super bands on it, so they're blue, so it looks a little bit different. I love the machine. What can I say? I think that if I was going to have to get rid of everything in my collection, I wouldn't get rid of. I wouldn't say that would be the last to go, but it would be one of the last to go. I think I would rather keep maybe, this may sound blasphemous, but I think I might want to keep a video game console, at least one video game console, before I get rid of this. And I guess the reason is because it's just worth so much more money than a console. So I don't even think it would come to that, because I got plenty of other stuff. And I can't even imagine a situation where I would need to raise that much money, where I would need to get rid of that pinball machine and all the other ones, and all the other consoles or whatnot. So that is my most prized possession in my collection, I guess. What is my most sought after game? Well, I really don't have anything at the moment. Things like, I think I do. I can mention a couple games that I think about it, but I'm not actively searching for it. Sometimes I may have a little bit extra money, and then maybe I'll go searching for something a bit more expensive to buy, and that's how I wound up with Castlevania Rondo of Blood for the Turbo Duo or Turbo CD, and one of those I'm looking over there because I'm actually encoding the final portion of a Crow Plays video. But I would say that, one of the things on the top of my list may be like the King of the Fighters 97 and 98. Those go for a little bit on the AES, but maybe those at the top of the list. I got a couple more humdrum games that may not cost that much that may be in the back of my mind. In fact, I have a list of games to look out for. I'm not going to switch to that because it may screw this up, but yeah, so I got nothing where it's like I'm going to give up everything for it. I have a lot of the stuff that I already want. I mean, just look at, I put up recently the 30 collection videos. Look at what I got in my collection. Do I really need anymore? I have everything that I really searched for, and once you get that, you may basically just replace it with something else. And I'm kind of dying down in that respect. And the stuff that I kind of want isn't out yet. I heard like the Mad Max game the new Mad Max game based on the new movie is gonna be awesome. I don't know much about it, but from what I heard, that's something I might look forward to. Basically it's stuff from like PS3 era and onward. The Blaze Blue game. There's a new Blaze Blue game. No, I'm sorry, it's not Blaze Blue. Guilty Gear. There's a new Guilty Gear game out. I think it just came out either today or a couple days ago, or it's coming out in a couple days. It's coming out soon. But those are the type of things that I'm keeping my eyes out on now. So, yeah. Let's move on to the next question. This is from November 24th, and it's from Kolchak357. I know you're a big pinball fan. So, if you can have any 5 additional pinball machines for your game room, what would they be? Please exclude any you already own. Space and price should not be a consideration. Excuse me. Okay, yeah. I'm going to try to do this off the cuff. I've seen this question, and obviously I've seen this question since November. I just haven't had a chance to answer it. And what's funny is if I had answered it back in November, I would have given a different answer than I would give now. Because the one game that was one pinball machine that was kind of off my radar until I actually played it, and I played it virtually, not in real life. Black Knight 2000, I would definitely put that in my top 5. And the only reason is because it has the best pinball soundtrack ever. There's a Crow Plays coming up on that. Not too long. The first one's going to be Fishtails, and then something else. Black Knight's one of the first, wouldn't be one of the earlier pinball arcade videos that I'm going to be posting. So it's not up as of this video, but it will be up in the future. But honestly, that is the first time you're going to see me playing the game, actually with the sound on. Because I played it on my phone with the sound off. But the soundtrack in that game is phenomenal, and I would get the machine just for that. So that's one. 2 would have to be Funhouse. That would be one I enjoy, but it's also my wife's, one of my wife's favorite pinball machines. So we would get it just for that. She likes Rudy, which is kind of ironic since she doesnn't like real ventriloquist dolls. So yeah, we got Funhouse. I would love a Getaway, High Speed 2. That is my favorite pinball machine of all time. But you know what? Ironically, even though it is my favorite, I would prefer to have the new Star Trek over that one. Maybe because they're both designed by Steve Ritchie. But being a newer machine, I think that the Star Trek would require little less maintenance than an older machine like the Getaway. But the Getaway would be my number 2. If I had my choice of any pinball machine to have next, that would be the one I would want. And then number 4, I would definitely have to put Doctor Who in there. One of my favorites from back in the day when I used to play, along with the Getaway. So that So yeah, Doctor Who definitely kind of a little unorthodox the way it's played, but I love the 2 level thing, and I'm a Doctor Who fan, so I do and I would enjoy it, I guess. And it goes up to the 7 Doctors. What would be interesting is if they came out with a new Doctor Who pinball machine and had the 12 Doctors in it, maybe even the War Doctor as well. Uh, um, what else? What would be the last one? I think it would be a toss-up between Medieval Madness and Attack from Mars. No, I take that back. I know what it would be. It would be Addams Family. Again, that's another one my wife likes. I like that one as well. Obviously, price would have to not be a consideration since that's a highly sought-after machine. And what's ironic is it was the best-selling pinball machine of all time, and it goes for crazy amounts of money. We're talking, $6,000, $7,000, up to $10,000 for one that's been, premium restored condition, maybe even higher than that. I've seen it no less than 4,000, and that one needed work. I'm looking over there because, all things considered, the Hyperball that I have is a lot rarer than the Addams Family. Yet I only paid $300 for that, and Addams Family, there's no way you'd get that for $300. So there you go. There's 5. Let's move on. This is from November 29th, 2014. From, I think that's Jorge Barbosa. What is your opinion on the Star Wars and Jurassic Park's trailer? What's funny is at the time that he asked this question, I hadn't seen it. And I actually had to think about it and search it out to find it and watch both of those trailers. Because I'm not... Okay, here's the thing. We'll start with the Jurassic Park. I'm not a fan of Jurassic Park. I didn't like the movies like all that much. I mean, I remember seeing Jurassic Park. That was the last movie I saw at a drive-in theater. So that's where I saw it. I don't think I've actually seen it again since then. Sure, the dinosaurs or good special effects, for the time. But it was just, to me, it was just special effects. If I had been a lot younger, if I had been a littler kid, I might have enjoyed the movie a little bit more because when I was a kid, I was into dinosaurs. But nowadays, the whole series, you had Jurassic Park, another thing. No, actually, I'm thinking of the wrong thing. But I was going to say I could have seen something else instead of that, but I was thinking of a different movie. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Jurassic Park, so... just people running around from dinosaurs. I don't know. They're not my type of movies. Now, on to Star Wars. Now, I'm not 100% excited for the new Star Wars movies either. Now, I loved the original trilogy, okay, when I was a kid. But over time, I just feel like the whole Star Wars thing is way, way more overhyped than it should be. I mean, like a lot of people treat it like a religion, and that's like almost going way too far for me. I mean, there's Gamester81, and he likes the Star Wars, and he collects everything Star Wars, and that's fine. That is perfectly fine. It's just not me. I just think it's way too overhyped. So when the new trailer came out, I didn't get all excited and watch it like I did when I heard there was a trailer for the second Avengers movie or a trailer for Mad Max or something like that. But I saw the teaser trailer, and as far as I know, as of right now in March, there hasn't been another one or anything showing newer footage. So all I could say is, okay, well, I'll have to wait for the next trailer. I'm sure I'm going to go see it. I have friends that are Star Wars fans, and I am interested in seeing the movies, but I'm not going to bend over backwards for it, the franchise or anything. I'm not going to want to go on opening night and fight the crowds or whatnot. I will see it, but I'll see it on my own time. Now, Mad Max Road Fury, I want to see that as soon as humanly possible. I'm way more excited for that movie than Star Wars. Same thing with Avengers, Ant-Man. Those movies I am more interested in seeing. Just because, I would say it's something new and fresh, but it's really not. But, I don't know what to expect from those movies. I kind of know what to expect from Star Wars. You know, it's great that they got Harrison Ford and can't think of his name, Mark Hamill, to be in the movies. I don't really know too much more than that. I'm not following, trends or whatnot, but I will see them. I will see the one after that, and I will see the one after that. But and don't get me wrong, the original trilogy, they're great movies, and I want to get them on Blu-ray, but I don't want the editions that are out now. Hopefully, now that Disney owns the Star Wars franchise, I've heard rumors that they're going to release the movies as they originally were, with all the special effects, with all the edits. They're going to release those on Blu-ray sometime in the future. Hopefully, to coincide with whenever the new Star Wars movies come out. I think starting in December, maybe this year. I will definitely get those, but I like the movies. I'm just not, as excited for it as I am for other things. Let's just put it that way. Let's move on. From November 30th, 2014, Jacob. What is your Wii U name? And would you be willing to play Smash sometimes? Dibs on Duck Hunt. Okay, I'll give you all my usernames. For everything is basically Crow111. That's all it is. I used it for my usernames for everything gaming console wise. Also my Steam name. That's what it is. But I'm rarely online. I prefer to play games offline, single player for the most part. As for except for Mario Kart 8, I've been playing that online. But what's funny is every time I want to play a game, I've gone on to Smash Brothers and I've checked online to see if any of my friends were playing. Nobody's playing. Every time I go online, in those rare circumstances where I go to play a game online, and nobody's playing. Once in a blue moon that may have happen. I mean, I did play against Ed T1138 Mario Kart a couple times because I happened to see him online, but it doesn't happen often. And the last time I really, really, really played a game online was Burnout Paradise, and that was many, many years ago. So that's what it is. Let's move on. From December 2nd, 2014, Classic Contagious Gaming. If you had if you had a $500 gift card, what system would you choose? PS4 or PS Vita? Question kind of doesn't make much sense because I already have a PS4 and a PS Vita. I think the question really is, which would I rather have, a PS4 or a PS Vita? Trick question. It's kind of a trick question because it kind of, what do I still have my 3DS? If I still have 3DS, I'd pick the PS4. Do I have any kind of handheld gaming system at all? What do I have? Do I have nothing and I have to choose one and those are the only games I have to play? I would choose probably PS4, regardless of any variation. Mainly because of Grand Theft Auto 5, I think. Because I've been playing that game a lot. I've been finally progressing in the game, and I'm really enjoying it. It's probably my favorite Grand Theft Auto. I mean, I didn't like San Andreas at all. I liked Vice City a lot. I liked 3 and I liked Vice City, but then San Andreas I didn't like for some reason. Grand Theft Auto 4 I didn't play for the longest time, and then I did start playing it, but there was something that stopped me, and I never really went back to it. I didn't really make it that far in the game, but something about Grand Theft Auto 5 I'm really enjoying. So that probably is my favorite right now. And I'm addicted to either playing missions. All the missions I played are fun. And just screwing around. And one of my favorite things to do is when I really want to take a mission, I take the blimp and I park it on the railroad tracks and watch the ensuing chaos. That entertains me for hours, and I'm never getting tired of that. So your answer is PS4. Not to say that there's nothing wrong with the Vita. I'm enjoying the Vita as well, but I play the PS4 a lot more. Next question from December 4th, 2014. AGD24IFI. I don't really... AGD29IFI. Okay. Let's see here. I've watched every one of your videos of you playing the tables of the Pinball Arcade. That's the first 2 seasons. And in some of them you mentioned that you actually played the table in real life. So my question is, have you played any of the actual Season 3 tables in real life? The answer is yes. That's the short answer. And I could leave it at that, but I'm danged if I'm interested in seeing which tables they are. So, I'm going to pause while I pull up the list of Season 3 tables on my phone, and I will go through them. Alright. I got the list up. So, first table, Fishtails. Yes, I have played it, but not a whole lot. And it wasn't until a couple years ago where I actually did play it for the first time. Black Rose. Practically the same answer. Yes, I've played it. First time I ever played it was at the Midwest Gaming Classic maybe 2 years ago. Black Knight 2000. I have never played that game, but like I said earlier in the video, I did play it on the Pinball Arcade, and it's one of those machines I would love to get just for the soundtrack. Whodunit? Again, same answer. I played it for the first time at either Pinball Expo or Midwest Gaming Classic for the first time not too long ago, probably a year or so ago. High Speed, same answer. Was maybe a couple of years ago. It seems to pop up a little bit more often. So yeah, it wasn't until a couple of years ago was the first time I played it. Junkyard. I know for a fact that was less than a year ago. I think at the Pinball Expo where I actually played this machine. Take that back. I actually haven't played this machine. I saw it, but there was always a crowd around it, so I haven't actually played it. Lights, Camera, Action. Yes, I remember playing this one. The first year I went to the Pinball Expo 4 years ago. I have played it. High Roller Casino. I may have seen it, but I don't believe I've ever played it. Diner. Yes, I did play it at the Pinball Expo. First time I ever saw it was in last October, so that was the first time I ever played it. It was a nice machine, so yes, I have played it, but again, less than a year ago. Bram Stoker's Dracula. That is the last table of Season 3. And I remember playing it the first year I went to Pinball Expo. I don't remember if I actually played it before that, though. So, yeah, most of these tables I have played. There's a handful I may have seen and never played. And just the Black Knight, I think, is the only table there that I've never actually seen. Black Knight 2000 is the only table I haven't seen myself. A drink, and we'll get to the next question. All right, next question. This is from December 9th, 2014. RFG. Do you ever get buyer's remorse? And if so, how often? Now, I'll be honest, I don't get buyer's remorse that often. And if it is certain things that really is little to do with video games. Like, for example, I recently bought a quadcopter. Now, it was half off, but it was still at half off. It was like $40. It's not the biggest thing in the world, but it's not working as well as I thought it would, so it's kind of buyer's remorse there. But honestly, when I was younger, I used to get buyer's remorse more often than I do now. And I think it's just because I'm more choosier on what I spend my money on now. And it's also easier to research your product nowadays before you buy it. Like with video games. Like way back in the day, you only really had the magazines to go off of. So, you took a chance on what you're buying, and sometimes you just bought a dud, and you had to live with it. Nowadays, while you're in the store thinking about buying it, you could look it up on your phone, look up videos, and see if you're interested or not. So, there's almost really very little reason to have buyer's remorse these days, unless you just refuse to do your research. And, you could even be in the store. Like, I could have looked up that quadcopter and saw reviews on it beforehand, before I bought it. But I didn't. I just thought, you know what, it's $40. If it's a dud, I am out $40. And, I go into that with the mentality of almost everything I buy. I'll buy this game, but, if I don't really like it, or if I never really wind up playing it, I'm out so much money. It's a gamble sometimes, but yeah, I think everybody gets buyer's remorse sometimes, but it's usually when you don't do your research. And sometimes you could get false information when you do your research and buy something and have it turn out to be a dud. That can happen too, but you got, sometimes if you're going to take a chance on something, you have to, if you're not sure about something, you just have to consider, if this doesn't work out, I'm out this money. And and if that's the case, then you're like, well, I kind of expected that, and you don't really feel remorse over buying it. But let's just move on. I don't know how much further I could go with that. December 10th, 2014, Shadow 9380. How much should I pay for a Mega CD? I don't know. We're talking about I got a text message. How much should you pay for a Mega CD? I don't know. For starters, I live in the U.S. and we had the Sega CD, not the Mega CD. So here, I'll tell you how much I paid for my Sega CD. I paid $20 at Goodwill, and that came with a Genesis and a 32X and all the cables I needed. So in my mind, $20 is a nice price. I did buy a JVC XI for $100, and to me that's a good deal as well. Because I like that system. I like how it's all in one. It's less to hook up. But for Mega CD, I haven't a clue. I would just say look up how much on eBay or something like that or equivalent, and see what the sold prices are. Not how much people are selling it for. Buy it now. Look up how much these things have been selling for. Check completed listings, and you can kind of get an idea of that way. And then try to aim for a price lower than that, or equivalent to. It just depends on how much money you have to spend as well. If you have more money, a higher price might not seem as bad as if you have smaller amount of money to spend. That's the way things work pretty much, and that's why people are willing to spend $80 for an Amiibo on eBay that isn't even out yet, because they feel like, oh, $80 is nothing. Whereas what the real cost of the product should be $13. That's the mentality people have. When you have a lot more money, it's a lot easier to let go of it. And that's kind of just like a general assumption. That may not apply for everybody. I'm just saying in general. Okay, here we go. December 18th, 2014. NMFN 21. Did you play any sports in high school? Sort of. If you consider bowling a sport, then yes. I was on a intramural bowling league in high school. That was it. Would go after school every Wednesday, walk down to the bowling alley, and we would bowl. That's all I could say. And I still bowl now from time to time, but actually what's funny is I have 5 from college. I have 5 credits from college solely for bowling. I took bowling 1, that was 1 credit, and then I took bowling 2 twice, and that counted for 2 credits each time. So so it's kind of funny. Out of the 120 college credits I have, 5 of them are from bowling. So it's kind of funny. December 20th, 2014, Cybercross 11. What is your favorite table on the Pinball Arcade? And that's kind of really tough question to answer. I don't really have a favorite because I like to jump between tables. If I find myself playing one table way too often, I'll go to another table. But let me think. What's a really good table that I like? I would say like Bride of Pinbot, but the game is way too easy. The game lasts way too long. There's got to be something challenging. Maybe Medieval Madness. I really like Medieval Madness. I still struggle with it at times. But I will just say, for right now, Medieval Madness. And let me go back to that list that I saw. Maybe there's something else that I'm not thinking of. Pinbot's really good. Twilight Zone is really good. Addams Family, that's not on the PS4 yet, but I played it on my phone, and that is working out really good. I really enjoying that one. Monster Bash is a really good one. Tales from the Arabian Nights is like one of the very first ones, but that's still good. But again, maybe a little bit too easy to get to the end goal. For right now, I'm going to say Medieval Madness, Attack from Mars. Addams Family is a really good one, but we'll just say Medieval Madness. I think I do like Medieval Madness just a hair better than Attack from Mars. So there we go. Let's see. Next question. Next question is from December 22nd, 2014, and they left no name. What is your favorite third-party video game developer? I don't have one. I don't like picking favorites, because once you start picking favorites, you might have some sort of bias towards that company and try to defend any actions they may have that you wouldn't normally otherwise agree with. For example, if I said I really like Sony, and Sony did something that doesn't make any sense, I would either ignore it or try to defend it. And I don't like doing that. I like just seeing things the way they are. I mean, there are certain game franchises I like. Like, I could say Electronic Arts. I hate Electronic Arts because of their business practices and whatnot. But I still like to maybe look and consider at the games that they have put out. Like, even though I've said I always think twice before I buy an Electronic Arts game, I still occasionally buy them. I mean, they're just the normal game companies like Namco. I like Namco because of Katamari Damacy and the Tekken series. Capcom, even though they kind of pretty much disowned Mega Man at this point, they still have the Capcom Fighting series, as well as some other stuff I can't think of. Right? They have Dead Rising, which I really haven't played, but that looks like a good series. Konami. Gotta like Konami because they put out Beat Mania, the Dance Dance Revolution. They haven't been putting out that stuff recently. But Castlevania, what else did they put out something recently that kind of surprised me. And then we got, again, Sony is not really third party, but, Nintendo is not really third party. But Nintendo, again, I could like their games, but I could still hate them for trying to pull this Nintendo creator content thing on YouTube thing. You know what? Every company is only after one thing, and that's money. They don't really care about, of course they care that when they put out a good product, but their ultimate goal is to make money from the products they put out. So, why pick favorites from that kind of pool? You know what I mean? I can like the stuff they put out, but why just say, oh, I like this company, period? No. I'm not going to play favorites, as it were. I mean, I go from time to time where I may like what one company is doing over another, but that over time, that always changes. So I can't answer that question. There is no such thing as a favorite third party for me. Let's move on. December 24th, 2014, Pinball Whiz 45B. Are you considering adding another pinball machine to your collection? And if so, what would it be? Really enjoy watching your pinball videos. Can't wait to see more action soon. I'm actually not considering adding anything new at this time. I actually got a end of year bonus at work, but I wound up spending. I'm actually keeping that money. I actually wound up spending that money on stuff here and there. And I'm actually trying to save the rest of it for Midwest Gaming Classic, because I don't know if I want to make a big item purchase there or not. And I don't want to have to worry about getting more room for pinball machines. I'm happy with what I got right now, and I think I'm going to have to save up a bit more money before I even think about getting another machine. I mean, I guess I could switch out one of these, but as of right now, I'd rather keep them, as it were. Pinball, can't wait to see more pinball videos. I don't know if you mean the ones that I did before, or if you're talking about Pinball Arcade. All the Pinball Arcade tables for Season 3, I have Crow Plays ready to go. In fact, I probably have posted one before I post this video. I haven't yet, but I will, and I will kind of go from Pinball Arcade to something else, to Pinball Arcade to something else. Every other Crow's Plays video will be Pinball Arcade until I run out of Season 3. And then I will wait until all of Season 4 is out before I do those. So that's how I'm working that. Okay, here's a question from... What did I kind of skipped. I didn't really skip it. I kind of jumped a little bit down further. This one's from December 31st, 2014, New Year's Eve. What is your favorite animated TV show of all time? Now, I don't know if you mean American animated, Japanese animated. I'm going to treat it like all animation. Anything that's animated at all, including Japanese. And my favorite Fist of the North Star. Once I saw the movie first, and I bought the movie without even knowing there was a TV show. And then when I found out there was a TV show, I downloaded it all through torrents and watched it all. And then when it finally came out in DVD, I bought all 4 sets. And actually, funny was I was walking on the treadmill. I walked on the treadmill every day. I've been kind of lax in that lately. But I would watch Fist of the North Star from my DVD set while I was doing it. I'd watch 2 episodes while I walked. And I just like it. It's all action. The only slow parts are when they do flashback episodes. Which doesn't happen that often in the series, but it does happen. But it's not like Dragon Ball Z, where a fight can last like a month worth of shows. No, I mean, these shows, like, no fight lasts longer than 2 episodes, and those are usually like the final battles, as it were. I just like it. I mean, he wastes no time punching and killing the hell out of thousands of people in a span of an episode. And it's not like there's no plot either, because there's actually a pretty good, decent plot, I think. But I will say that I'm watching. Currently, there's a show going on right now that may usurp that as my favorite, and that is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They've already done. I've watched 3 seasons of it. Once the 4th one is completely out, I'll watch that too. But I am enjoying the hell out of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I've never read the manga. I don't really read like manga or comic books or stuff like that. I just enjoy the show, and for what it is, I love it. American animated stuff, I really don't know. Let me think about that. I mean, I do like The Simpsons. There's Futurama. I'm not really so much a big fan of Family Guy as I once was. I'm kind of looking over this way because I have a lot of DVDs and stuff over there. Home Movies, that's a good one from Cartoon Network. Adult Swim, I think it was on. It was actually on another channel first. The original Dragon Ball series is really good too. Before they got Dragon Ball Z is good too, but the original series blows Dragon Ball Z out of the water, if you ask me. I'm kind of just looking over there because I'm trying to get an idea of what I have. There's the Brack Show. Invader Zim is another good one. But again, at the top of the list, it's got to be Cromartie High School. I really enjoy that too. But at the end of the day, it's got to be Fist of the North Star, followed closely by JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. At this point, that could change sometime. But yeah, great stuff. Moving on from January 19th, 2015, Teddy. Who you got winning the Super Bowl? If I lose any money on your pick, I'll be upset. I think he posted this about a week before the Super Bowl. But honestly, I didn't even know who played. I didn't watch it. I haven't watched the Super Bowl in many, 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 many years. And the reason for that is because, for me, it's a waste of time. I don't really watch... I don't watch any sports, really. But if I did watch any sport, it would be either hockey and or football. I do like those 2 sports. And when I say football, if you're from overseas, if you're not in the U.S. as otherwise, football is to you American football, and your football is to me soccer. I don't know anything about what goes on with soccer, but football, the Super Bowl, I kind of heard who played. I don't even really know who won. But the reason it's kind of pointless for me is because I would sit there and watch it, and then at the end, what did it matter to me? Nothing. So, why even bother? I mean, I get more entertainment out of, like, minor league sports than I do out of professional sports. And it's because, it's one of the reasons, because in professional sports, the team with the most money just hires the people they want. For example, Chicago Bears. Is everybody on that team from Chicago? Probably not. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Why even bother throwing the word Chicago in there? I guess it's just because it's their home base. But why do I root for all these people on the team when they are not really from Chicago or Illinois or anywhere in the area? They really came from all over the state. And the same thing goes for every single team and almost every single sport as well. I mean, soccer with the World Cup and everything. Of course, everybody from the U.S. team is from the U.S. But you know what? that doesn't really matter because it's not that popular here. But that's why I kind of like the minor league sports a little bit more. The high school, the college. Not like I watch those, but it makes more sense because the people that are on those college teams actually attend that college. That makes a little bit more sense to me. It's all money. It really is. And it doesn't really matter to me. I'd rather sit and play a video game than spend 4 or 5 hours watching the Super Bowl. On top of that, I think a lot of people watch the Super Bowl not even for the game. They sit there watching to see what new innovative commercials companies are putting and paying, $2 million to $3 million for to air during the Super Bowl. And that's kind of ridiculous too, because if you really wanted to see those commercials, you just wait a little while and they'll be online for you to watch. Anyway, let's move on. I didn't really answer your question. Who do I got winning the Super Bowl? The American public? I don't know. January 29th, 2015. Jake Roberts. When are you going to do more Pinball Arcade videos? I have already done them. I've done all of Season 3. There's like 13 tables in Season 3. I need to finish putting on the end slate of each of those videos, and I will start posting them in a couple days ago, because I should have already posted the first one. Next one. February 9th, 2015. This is from Ryan. Whatever happened to the giraffe clock? I actually don't even know who has it right now. I can't remember. It's disappeared. Was it Big Daddy Darth that last had it? Did he send it off to somebody? Is it Dam Van Dam that has it? It's one of those two. I don't know. Did they send it to somebody and that somebody never made any videos on it? I don't know. Maybe the giraffe clock finally claimed the victim. If you don't know what the giraffe clock is, Intellivision Dude, I don't know how many years ago, was selling a couple items. And he was selling this broken giraffe clock, and he wound up sending it to Retro Gamer VX, at which time it kind of, I don't know what happened, but it kind of became this mysterious object of doom, and it got passed from YouTuber to YouTuber, and I myself had it maybe a couple of years ago, maybe 2011, 2012. Maybe even 2010. I don't remember when exactly I had it. But it's something that really messes with your mind. And I passed it along, and it got passed along a couple times since then. But for the last year, maybe even 2 years, we have not heard a word from the giraffe clock. So maybe it'll pop up when you least expect it. That's all I could say. I don't really know. This question is from February 15th, 2015. This is also from Ryan. I'm assuming this is the same Ryan. You seem to be a pro at hunting down Amiibos. I'm not really. I know I'm months late to the party, but I'd like to start collecting the Amiibo without going overboard on eBay prices for the rarer ones like Villager and Fit Trainer. In your opinion, what is the best way to hunt them down store to store? Do you check the same stores every day after work, a couple days a week, etc.? No, I let my wife do all the work. My wife is way more obsessed with Amiibos than I am. In fact, if it weren't for her, I'd probably only have a handful. But as it is now, we do have every Amiibo that is out. And we do have every Amiibo for Mario Party reserved. I will mention another Amiibo, but I just kind of glanced down, and yes, the last question has to deal with it. My wife vigilantly searches the web to find out what stores will have what and when. And there's also a website called In Stock Now, and you could sign up for that, and whenever certain sites put up like pre-orders or certain things for sale, that's when you can try and jump on and see if you could pre-order it without having to go to the site yourself. You get an email, and that happened. I got that with the Toad Super Mario Amiibo, and it's not just Amiibos they do that for. They do that for like any product. But if you want things like the Villager and Wii Fit Trainer, you're not going to find it in stores. There are, right now, all the stores are sold out. They're not producing anymore. It's from what I heard. Now, things in the future may change. They may put things in production again, put them out later. From what I heard, they're going to maybe do these card things where the chip is going to be like in a kind of like a credit card type of thing, and that would be the Amiibo. I'd like to collect those just for collection's sake, but it's not the same as having the actual figure. In fact, I like having the figures just because they're figures, not because they have any sort of functionality. It's just a weird collection kind of thing, seeing if you could get them or whatnot. Another thing is that if you think an Amiibo is going to be rare, you try to get more than one of them. Not so you could sell it on eBay, but maybe so in the future, if you can't get your hands on something, you could say, hey, you know what, I want your Amiibo. Are you willing to take this one for a trade? So we got tons of trade bait as well, in case there's something in the future we miss out on. But we'll get... So, yeah, if you can't get it in the store, you could go back all you want, but they're not going to restock them. You basically have to ask the employees. That's what my wife does. She asks them, are you going to be getting this Amiibo in stock? And sometimes they can look it up in the system and see, oh, yes, perhaps we have another shipment coming. And then you ask when that shipment is coming. And then you try and get there as early as you can when that shipment comes. And then, and if you don't see it on the shelf, ask them if they have it in the back, or ask them if they have it in a box they haven't opened yet. Because we did that with, we were looking for Little Mac, and Toys R Us had a couple boxes, and we asked them if they could open them. You know what was in those boxes? Luigi. Oh, here's a doorbell. I gotta get that. That was really odd. That was actually the census man, and he was looking to schedule an appointment. A follow-up appointment. I won't get into it now, but yeah, whatever. It was the census man. That's all you don't even need to know that. Last question. I couldn't have waited 5 minutes. Last question from February 27th, 2015. Anon. Will you try and get that gold Mario Amiibo? I read today it's sold out in minutes. Well, you can't believe everything you read, because he wrote this back in the 27th, and things change all the time. Yes, they did sell out, but you know what? They put the pre-orders back up, and it seems like they do this for almost everything. Anybody that seems to do this anytime. If you don't know, the gold Mario Amiibo is in the Super Mario Brothers series. It's really for Mario Party. I guess it'll work with not Mario. In fact, it'll probably work with Smash Brothers too. But it's a Mario in a certain pose. But they came out. Walmart's got an exclusive variant of the Mario Amiibo, and it's just colored gold. My wife went batshit crazy, insane, because she wants it, and we missed the original pre-orders for it. So she was planning on not all the Walmart's even gonna get it, but she knew somebody that works at Walmart, and she found out which stores are going to be getting them. So she took off and it's 24-hour Walmart, and it's actually not too far away. And in fact, it's one of the Walmarts we go to on a regular basis. And they usually set up lines inside the store for things like this, and she talked to somebody there, and they're going to have that. So we might probably do that. In fact, I didn't want her to go by herself, so I'll go with her. I took the day off the day after, just so I wouldn't have to worry about being tired the next day at work, although I may change that or whatnot. But you know what happened is that Walmart put up the pre-orders, and she found out about it and texted me, and she was able to pre-order one, and I was able to pre-order one. So so unless Walmart cancels those pre-orders, which could possibly happen, because a lot of people that originally did the pre-order when you said in February, they got their pre-orders canceled for one reason or another. I don't know why. They claim that people were claiming that, people that ordered more than one got their pre-orders canceled. But then again, I see posts from people that said they only ordered one and they got their pre-orders canceled. So I don't know. Will mine get canceled? Will hers get canceled? I don't know. If they do, we might still wait at the Walmart anyway. But yeah, we have a possibility of getting one. We have one pre-ordered. We might have more than one. I don't know. Just the way things work out, I suppose. If it were me by myself, I wouldn't have even tried to get it. Who knows? I keep hearing things like contradictory information all the time. I keep hearing, there's the Walmart's only going to get 6. There's not going to be enough Walmart for every Walmart. Then I hear there's going to be way too many for Walmart. What they did for pre-order was only a fraction of what's going to be in the stores. So we never know. That's the thing about these Amiibos. Nobody knows for sure what's going on. They're guessing at which ones are going to be rare and which ones are going to be common. And then ones that appear that start to look like they're rare turn out to be common. Like Sheik and Toon Link, for example. I thought those were going to be rare, but now those are in stores all over the place. So I don't know what's going on. All I could do is try to get one. And you know what? If you're playing the market and trying to get as many as you can to sell on eBay, for one, you're a dirty bastard. And secondly, you don't know. I mean, because these people that got their pre-orders from Walmart and then posted the pre-orders on Walmart for exorbitant a price hike. And that's how I first found out about it. Somebody posted on Twitter that they couldn't believe that eBay had advertised that people were selling Golden Mario Amiibo pre-orders for an exorbitant price. And I found out about it. I was like, what the hell? And then it turned out I had missed that Walmart had put it up by like 4 days. Because I'm not paying that much attention to it. And In Stock Now, my wife had it on her In Stock Now thing, and she didn't get the email for that for days afterwards. But then she got alerted again the second time it went up, and that's how we found out about it. That's how I was able to get a pre-order in. So yeah, In Stock Now again. If you're wondering how somebody could potentially get like several orders in at the same time, it is possible with things like Chrome plugins, where as soon as something comes available for pre-order, the plugin kicks in and automatically shoves all the billing information and everything to to the server or what. I don't know how it works or how it's set up, but that's how it's possible somebody could pre-order hundreds of these things before somebody could actually get through once to order one, or in a couple minutes they're all sold out. But yeah, way to ruin it for everybody. You know what? That's the end of the questions. But while we're talking about Amiibos, here's what Nintendo should do. They obviously underestimated the demand for these Amiibos. But what they should do for potentially things that they haven't produced yet, they should put up a sign-up sheet on their website for people that want to pre-order directly from Nintendo. Then, have a window, and you sign up during that window and give them your billing information and whatnot. And that could be your pre-order directly to Nintendo. Then Nintendo can produce exactly that amount, and then plus however many they want to give to the stores. I don't really see any problem with doing things that way. It would benefit Nintendo because they would actually not overrun their production by so many and lose money. They would definitely make fans happy because every fan that would want one would get one. And it would also eliminate the scalper in the middle, because the scalper is not going to be able to sell these Amiibos for exorbitant prices, because everybody that would really want one would already have one through Nintendo. But again, I am not in charge of Nintendo. I am not. I don't have anything to do with Nintendo. I can't. I mean, all I could do is complain. And honestly, the only reason I'm complaining is because we've come so far now. We've got every Amiibo there is as of now. Do we really want to stop? It's hard to stop once you start. Anyway, I think that's enough. This is over an hour-long Q&A. Hopefully, when I do this in the future, I won't wait so long and it won't last so long. But if you have any questions for me, ask it on the form in the description. Please do ask the comments. If you ask in the comments, I'll ask you to please ask in the form. But if you don't want me to read your question out loud, Then ask it in the comments, because then I'll just answer it in the comments. I don't know what I'm talking about. I should just go now. See y'all later. Bye.